Hi guys, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to another video here at Telebeats. So it's been a while since I've not posted or published any video here, and I just wanted to tell you the story of what happened regarding the fire here in my studio. So I've told you in the last video that there was a fire in my building, and we had to, or I had to stay away from the my apartment and live in a temporarily room. So I would like to tell you the story of what happened so that you have a clear understanding of what happened and tell you my story. And basically, I was working here in this precise position. And nowadays, because of the virus that's going on, and because of the situation that we are living now, I've been working from home for a couple of months now, maybe three months, and I was working normally, and the internet went down. And I already had this situation in the past where the internet went down for, I don't know, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or maximum 5 minutes. And but it's quite strange. It's not something that happens very regularly, luckily. But the internet went down, and for most of my work, or not most, but a big part of my work, I need internet for meetings, for research, for development. I need a lot of internet is a big asset for me to work, for me to be able to perform, to have a good performance in my work. So I was working, but sometimes, so that's what I wanted to say. So I need internet, but not always. Sometimes I'm just listening to music when I'm coding or something, or writing some documentation or whatever. But the internet went down, and I was doing at the time some programming, some coding, and I was listening to some music, and the internet went down. I thought it was a little bit strange, but I continued working. After a few minutes, I was like, okay, let me check on my cell phone to see what's going on. So I also checked on my cell phone and no internet also. And I was like, so this is a little bit strange. So I continue working a little bit, and then I checked again, and I removed my headphones. For work, I don't use this type of headphones. I use some headphones with noise cancellation, and I took off. I take out the headphones, and I start hearing some screaming here in the apartment, or in the buildings on top of me. And I was like, this is not normal. Hearing screams from the buildings, and then I was like, okay, this is strange. So then I went to the window, and I look down, and I see a lot of people pointing up and saying, doing the signal of stay there, please don't stay there, something like that. And in my mind was like, okay, somebody is trying to jump, or somebody's trying to end themselves. And I was like, okay, so this is strange. Let me go down and see what's happening. So I come here to the table, I grab my cell phone, I put it in the pocket, and then I go to grab my keys and go down. As soon as I open the door, I see a hall of smoke. My entire hall was full of smoke, but it was so dark that I couldn't see even the one 50 centimeters away from me, or half a meter. It was really, really, really dark, to the point where I couldn't see the lights from the other from the middle of the apartment. So it or from the middle of the hall, there's a light there. And at that point, I realized, okay, now I see what's happening. It's a fire. My first instinct was, I need to get out of here. And I didn't thought about my gear in my studio. I didn't thought about my clothes. I didn't thought about my laptop, my computer, my work, my lovely studio. I didn't thought about anything. My first thought was, I need to get out of here, which actually is not a good idea. And I went through the smoke, which in retrospective, I know it's a really, really bad decision, or it was a bad decision. And but I live in the first floor, so I just need to go a few stairs down, and I'm out. But if the fire was right on the entrance, I would see the fire on top of me or in front of me, and then I would have to come back, and that would have been a very bad situation. So the first thing that not the first thing, the thing that I should have done was to close the door and stay inside of my home. There was no fire in my home or in my apartment, so I should have stayed here. And a few minutes after, or a few seconds after, there were some firemen with some stairs taking people out from the apartments. So that will be the best course of action. But I live in the first floor, so I thought, okay, let me just go down and let me go through the smoke, and it's just one floor, so I can handle it. But I didn't thought that if the fire was in the entrance, I would not be able to get out of the building, and then I would have to come back to go up the stairs and then open my door, and that could be a whole different set of problems, because when I started go down, when I saw the outside of the building, I was already like coughing a lot and without breath. So it was really, really a horrible experience. But if I had to come back, to come up and then try to get into the apartment, that would be another effort of the same distance. And then I would have to find the keys and then get into the apartment. And if I passed out and stayed in the hall with all the smoke, it was a really good case for asphyxiation. So it's not a good decision to just leave the apartment and then go to the outside of the building. It was not a good decision at all, but luckily nothing happened. I was actually not the only one. My colleague, my front neighbor also did that, or one of my front neighbors also did that. But yeah, it's not a good idea. And if you ever are in a situation like that or like this that I've been through or similar, just stay home. Just if you see some smoke in the hall, just close the door and go to the window. Open the window and stay in the window so that you can have fresh air coming in, just to breathe. And yeah, otherwise it can be really, really messy. Okay, so after that, this public announcement, where was I? Okay, then my first thought was, okay, let me turn on my cell phone camera light so that I can see, I can grab the metal piece that goes down with the stairs. I don't know the name of that piece. The thing where you put your hand, the handle, the stairs handle. I think probably that's a good name for it. And it was so dark that I, with the light on, with my cell phone light on, I couldn't even see the handle, the metal handle. And I had to grab it like I was with my eyes closed. It was really, really dark with the smoke. So I grabbed the handle, and then it was step by step, trying to also put one step at a time very slowly, because it was very slippery. And that's another thing, another problem of the bad decision that I told you, that is not good to go through the smoke. First, you can't inhale that because you can't breathe over you can inhale, but you can't breathe over the smoke. It's bad for your lungs, and also it's slippery. It's very, very slippery. My feet were always like moving around. And then I was able to step by step go down. I put my elbow on my nose and mouth to try to breathe less of the smoke, and then I saw the light of the door. The door for the entrance of the building was completely open, so I just went there, or went through the door, and that's when I realized what's happening. Not realized, but that's when I saw the dimensions of what was happening. Then after, I don't know, 10 seconds, then the firemen came. There were like 4 or 5 trucks, and then a bunch of ambulance, maybe 4 or 5, and a bunch more police cars. And they closed everything. This is a very it's an area or a zone with a lot of people going through every single day. It's a big part in the town, in the center, so it has a lot of movement. So the police stopped or closed all traffic, and then we had to wait for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours until everything was clean, or not clean, until everything was ready for us to come back to the apartment and see the damages. So I was waiting outside. Some firemen asked me some questions, which was my apartment, and some stuff like that. And luckily the fire was in the basement, so they right away got into the apartments or the building and then went out to put the fire out. Then I went to some ambulances so that they could measure my CO2, CEO, my CO2, and a couple more things that they tried to measure to see if I was okay. Then I had to wait. I gave some information to the police also. And after that, after waiting for a couple of hours, then we could get into the apartments and see the damage that we had. And it was quite extensive, not in the studio. Luckily, my studio didn't have any problem, but the rest of the apartment was completely dirty. The dust particles or the smoke particles got everywhere, and it was completely dirty. And I still have sometimes. The other day I was walking with some white socks, and the socks got all black on the bottom. So it's not yet completely clean. I still have a lot of cleaning to do, but it's really. I will put some images here so that you can see the before and after, or not the before and after, but you can see how dirty it was the apartment. Luckily, I'm always complaining that this door in my living room is a door that closes itself. I'm always complaining about the door, and I have a little bit of a piece of wood that I put under the door so that the door can stay open and have some fresh air coming in and out. But luckily this time the door was a very good thing, because the door closed itself, and then it blocked the smoke from coming into the living room where I have all this gear, all my studio gear. So my studio gear all the gear that I have here, it's all good. It's a little bit dusty, but it's not something that I can't clean with a little bit of with 1 or 2 hours. I can clean or vacuum everything, and everything will be fine. Luckily, there was no damage to the studio and to the studio gear. After that, they told us that we should wait for 2 to 3 days, and it's been 4 weeks. And they changed all the cables, the electrical cables of the apartment, or in all the apartments. They installed new things. So yeah, it took us a little bit longer, or it took them a little bit longer than I was expecting or wanting to, but it is what it is. Luckily now I have electricity, I have water, I have heating, and everything is working nice except internet. So as I told you, for my work I need internet, and I don't have yet internet in my apartment, but I can turn on the camera and do some stuff. But to sleep, I have to go to the other room, and it's a little bit bad because I went from an apartment that I have just for myself, and I have a living room, a room, a bathroom, and a kitchen, to an apartment where I only have a room. So it's a shared apartment. So I've went down in terms of apartments, but it is what it is. It's a temporary solution, and luckily things are moving fast here. Not fast, but things are getting to the point of everything being the way it was. I only need internet. After that, everything. After having internet, I can just come back and have my studio or my apartment back. So that's it, guys. Luckily, I can record some stuff. I will start now putting the videos out. I have a couple of videos in the hard drive that I want to put out, and I have a couple more videos that I want to do. I recently bought a Keylab 61, so I want to do a review on that keyboard. And I also have new gear coming into the studio that I'm very happy for, or I'm happy to install. And then I will do some type of review so that you can guys see what's going on here. But yeah, that's basically it. It might take a little bit longer for the videos to start to come in, but I have some ideas. It was a good thing actually, amongst these crazy weeks that I've been having with not being able to come to the studio, not having electricity so that I can power on and record stuff. But it was good for me to also get away and find new ways to, or new things to put here in the channel. That was also a good thing of these crazy 4 weeks that have been that I have been through. And I think I have some new interesting series coming up, and I think you will like it too. And it's more interactive, so you can interact more with me and ask more questions, and we can have a more interactive community here, because I think that's what's missing. I always tell you guys to write in the comments if you have any questions and something like that, but I rarely see comments, to be honest, and I want to get in touch with you more. I want to know what you want these channels to have also, because the channel is growing because of you. So I also want you to be in a way part of the channel, and I also want to serve you better. So if I can do that, I think that's a good way for the channel to grow, and also for you to have a better value from the channel. And yeah, that's basically it. But some new things are coming, and I'm excited about it, and I think you will be too. So that's it, guys. This was my story, or this is my story for the past few weeks, or the past 4 weeks. And hopefully next week I will have everything set up again so that I can start putting videos again like I used to, coming back to the routine. And stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.